All right, everyone, welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We've got another NMG match for you guys. This one is also, actually, I think the other one was Light World. I don't know, this one is Dark World round 3. And we've got a 4-player match for you guys. Flip versus cheamo and caznode versus benteezy. They will be horizontal matchups, so just keep an eye out for that. And on comms today, we've got Buddha and Retromel. How's it going, guys?
All right, how you doing?
Too bad. I'll get the runners going, and you guys are good to go.
Okay, excellent. And so, hey, if you are you sick of me yet? Oh, are you? Good, because you should be. Anyway, hello, welcome back, everyone. While we're waiting for people to get themselves set up here, of course, I am with 123 runner Retromel. Of course, 123 in what the internet tells me is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past randomizer vanilla competitive rule set seated no save and quit any percent. Anyway, how you doing? Whoop. Retro just died on me. I'm still coughing. Anyway, so while waiting for people here, as already mentioned, yes, it's going to be a got a left to right situation. As much as I would love to have a fatal 4-way, just a winner take all, that's not how this works. But of course, you know, I watch pro wrestling, so I'm all for that. But as we wait for people to ready up, excuse me, as I'm coughing here in the background. I guess while we wait, I do have some other things here. So for the matchups, like as already mentioned, they are both Dark World. They are both the third round. And just so you're aware of, you know, times and PBs and all that, if that means anything to anybody. On the top row, at least on my screen, I think that's true all the way around. For Flip and cheamo, Flip 126.02, cheamo 127.14, and then Kaz and benteezy. Kaz is 124.36, Ben with the 124.55. So that'll always be, excuse me. So they are definitely a little bit closer. But either way, as if you were watching from the last race, really anything can happen. The slightest mistake with timing or anything of that nature can cause everything to just go, all tits up in the worst way possible. And we are finally underway. And so, welcome everyone to the late night edition. Well, late night, relatively speaking. Some people are... I just turned off my light by accident. Some people are, the night's just getting young. For me, it's almost the end of the night. I'm getting tired. But we're off. So again, just a reminder, for those of you watching, it's the top, left to right, against each other only, and then the bottom left to right against each other, and then the winner of those after stream will just fight to the death. Making the way through here, nothing surprising. I don't see anything out of any of these screens that would hint at anything there being an issue. So they're making their way down to get themselves Uncle Sword. So times 4, just leaving the uncle behind. Terrible. But, by the way, making the way through here. Shady has joined us, coming in with the hard GL. So let's see how this first courtyard here can be a bit tricky, depending on the positioning. But no problems there. Very good. Shady coming in hard with the GLs again. Thank you, Shady. It's much appreciated. So, getting through the hallway, didn't see there to be any issues regarding any of the guards. And I make the way to the first key guard here. Spin, spin, spin to win. I know benteezy going for just the straight approach of the couple slashes. No big deal there. Now, again, for those of you wondering, yes, it's going to be a little difficult trying to watch 4 screens at once. And hopefully, whenever... Yep, as Angry Demon Noise is saying, you got 4 minutes to get in all of your all of your predictions on who will win each race. Unfortunately, I do not have the fifth option of just one person winning is not there, unfortunately, so I refuse to put any points to them about that. So,
now of course, is going to win.
Oh, there he is. He's made it. You missed your introduction.
Yeah, I was having issues.
God damn it! It's fine. You heard it. It was probably terrible. All right, none of them are using the pots. They're all going slashes, and it looks like everyone had it. Flip decided to throw his boomerang for the lulz, and 3 of the 4 managed to actually get their the light before Zelda started yelling at them. So that'll be a big deal for later, I guess. Not really. Yeah, make sure you follow the runners. And follow the commentators, even though... Oh, there we go. There's Retro's link as well. So, as we make our way through here, not much. Anything from... I don't know if you've watched any of these runners lately. Is there anything to look for? Do you think that anyone's on the cusp of doing something big, or what are you looking at here?
At this point, I don't think so. Everything's very straightforward. But gets a little more interesting is the back of Escape, if we can call it interesting.
Right.
Things can happen that can really change the times.
Yeah, so I mean, you have this hallway here. That's RNG. You know, that can be depicted by RNG. Then you have the courtyard RNG, but definitely in this segment, the back, the sewers, definitely the the biggest part of any RNG there with the rats and the snakes. But so all in all, though, pretty good. It looks like for Flip and Cheamo, they appear to be in sync for the most part, and Ben looks like a little bit. Well, not half, maybe half a second faster than Kaz at this point. But as we saw in the last race, just in the beginning up to Hera, there were a ton of lead changes, you know, and so barring any, you know, heaven forbid any, you know, tragedies that we don't want any of that to happen. Shout out to Flipheal. Thank you, chat. So far it looks to be so far everything looks to be good. They didn't take any. Well, all right. Ben took half-hearted damage from I'm assuming a rat. And then, as a friendly reminder, 1 minute left to gamble them points. Oh yeah, and the key rat here. Definitely, some of the patterns are a little interesting. On 2 screens, it looks like for Cheamo and Ben, it looks like the rat actually got stuck at the door. That's always fun. Ben now the first one into Sanctuary. All right, so looks like we have for Kaz and Ben, they both got 52s. And for I wasn't paying attention to Flip and Cheam, but they were, you know, sub 6. So yeah, now button mash to win here. Of course, they'll all grab themselves a Sank Heart. No one attempted rat frames. That's a shame, but I don't think anyone was in the position to do so. Yep. Okay, very good. So now,
I think last season, benteezy didn't get the Sank Heart, but I stand corrected. We'll see.
Didn't get mad lad. Absolute mad lad. All right, so now making the way to Eastern. Nothing terrible. I mean, again, as I've mentioned in previous, probably mentioned plenty of time in previous races, the Octo Rock field can definitely be some cause for concern, considering where the Octo Rocks end up, where they stop, how fast they move. You know, if they fire a rock right as you're walking by, and then of course the Eastern Palace overworld. can also be a bother given the positioning of the Octorocks. And unfortunately, Kaz took a bit of damage there while trying to get past the statue, as did Cheam. And I wasn't paying attention, but I think Flip, took a bit of hurt as well. So it looked like everyone but Ben got through with a little bit of damage, but, no big deal, really. Okay, so with the cannonballs, of course, the less wobbles, the better. But that's not really up to you. And I think... No, otherwise, so far, so good. I think for anyone who is...
Caznode takes a hit there.
Yeah. And it looked like everybody... Well, Kaz and Cheam, respectively, opted to get the heart under the pot, whereas Flip did not. And so that's interesting. Flip also boomed the magic, so he's got a little bit of small magic upgrade, or has a little bit of magic, I should say. So that could help later on when we do the fill after the Armos fight.
Ooh, benteezy skipping the arrows.
Okay, so... Alright, so Ben clearly going all out. So that'll be interesting. Oh, have a little bit of... Oh, I think all the Stalfos decided to give Ben a hug for getting those arrows. Alright. It seems like everyone got through... Yep, everyone seemed to get through. Relative levels of success. Ben, at least first one in on the screen to have the damage boost. That was clean for him. For Kaz, also clean. Same with Flip. Cheam, last but not least, unfortunately had a little bit of trouble, had to double dip back in through the anti-fairies, but does give himself the big key. Now, Cheam, a little bit of danger, because he is now on 1 heart. So, that could be worrisome, because there are some things, especially in the back in Eastern, that does 1 heart of damage, so... We'll have to kind of pay attention to him, see what happens there. Ben in the bottom right and Kaz in the bottom left managed to get themselves the key with no problems, as does Flip in the top left. Now Cheam will be curious here, but manages to get through. Now, I guess Retro, with the fact that Ben didn't get those arrows, do you think that's going to be an issue?
Well, we're coming up here on the rooms that's going to determine that, called the double readies, and we'll see what drops we can get. If they don't drop, he has to get the pot in the top right. Oh, and he got the drop. Yeah,
he actually got the drop. He actually got the drop all the way around. Now, Cheam, I'm really worried about now, because he's now sitting at half. He is truly at 1 hit KO, no matter what. Okay, he gets 1 heart, so now he gets 2 hits. Ben goes at both Ben and Kaz. They take care of all of them, really. Flip as well. All managed to get through Armos with no issue. And Cheam does get it. And doesn't put an arrow in the wall. Great all the way around. Kaz making the comment in chat, the world record for a number of Octorocks in my way. Someone needs to check that and make sure that's true. And so...
And everybody looks like they have like a good arrow count coming into the next dungeon.
Yeah, I was worried about Ben there, but yeah, Ben got, we saw that the drop from one of the reds and also got a drop in Zelda Gamer Room as well. So getting those extra drops definitely, a good gamble, if you will. So everyone gets their boots.
To point out that.
Go ahead.
Everybody has a good amount of money here too. Well, Cheamo just needs a little bit more, but pretty rich.
Yeah, and so that's good for the rupee count, and unfortunately Kaz having a little bit of trouble with the spin speed, but does manage to get out, but that unfortunately a little bit of a time suck there, as Cheam now still a few screens off from Flip, but as we said, the next little bit that's coming up here can definitely change the course, and as you just said, Retro, that yes, the for almost everyone's rupee counts are good, and really even for cheamo, he's not bad. Really, to kind of help with his rupee count, because at most you don't, getting 10 is fine, and so he can pick up that rupee right before he gets the gloves in desert. And so everyone seems to be fine here. Ben, first one out. Of course, that's the spin speed coming out can be tricky. Flip gets his, Kaz gets his, and cheamo unfortunately does not. Had to double dip, but did manage to get it.
And the thing is, those spin speeds do save time, but if your movement is not clean on the first one, it actually doesn't save that much time.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, to be fair, it seems like that's almost literally every trick in this game of if you do it right the first time, you save some amount of frames or, a second. Otherwise, you're going to lose. It's like you lose 3 seconds automatically. And looks like everyone is making good on the overworld otherwise. Yep. No cactus bumps. No accidentally running into any birds or guards. Okay, everyone looks to be good to go. So Ben, first one in. So really this... go ahead.
The interesting thing is that caznode actually dashed into the tablet. And no bonk, but not many people do that.
No. And someone in chat would have to say what that time save is if done optimally. I always bonked into it, so I just gave up. So the first bit of RNG as Ben is going to approach to is going to be the cannonball room. Essentially excuse me. Got to stop or not. Ben does have to stop. He unfortunately does have to start a step. Let's see. Flip also has to start a step. Does Kaz also... Can he get a clean dash? Kaz does get a clean dash, so he gets to catch up a little bit of time on Ben. And then cheamo... Nope, also had to stop. So Kaz is the only one who got the pattern where it didn't have to stop, just go ahead and run through. Now, as you'll see with all the other runners except for cheamo, it's kind of expected that as they run through this room here with the pots before they get the gloves, they are not going to pick up one extra pot for that $5. As you'll soon see here, what I'm expecting cheamo to do, pick up that first pot, then... Oh, no, I was wrong. Okay. And skipping the arrows. Okay, I mean, that's fine. First off, Ben, spin speed. Yes. And then Flip will knock over spin speed. Kaz...
Conservatively.
Yep, Kaz will. Yeah, I was told from last chat that I think that they were told it says like 50s, possibly 50, 60 frames. Or, you lose like 4 minutes.
Yep.
So it looks like Ben got a good Popo Genocide. Flip did. Unfortunately for Kaz, one of them got away. But again, that's kind of RNG with however the Popos like to travel after that initial dash down. cheamo, though, did get a pretty good one there, so we can try to catch up hopefully a little bit. Now, this is going to be interesting because this is always tricky, as you know, that for some runners, you can have... It can, go anywhere from getting like that perfect 2 cycle or getting, God forbid, you get like a 4 or 5. But Ben, though... Ben got a 2 cycle.
Ben got the 2.
All right, very good. Kaz, unfortunately, did not. And it looks like everyone is sitting at... All right, so Flip finished his. So I think that was 3 or 4. That was 3, I think, for him. Kaz, I think, is on 4. cheamo, I think, went 4 or 5. but I'm not 100% sure.
I think
And this is
Cheamo actually got.
Oh, how many?
He actually got like a 3 or early 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is one of the problems when having to stare at 4 screens. Was going to be trying to count those accurately. Kaz in chat has requested to not watch him. So that means we will watch him now for this entire segment.
Absolutely.
Ben gets himself a good fake flipper. Whereas Kaz is still continuing his dash. Flip, unfortunately, decided to give the pickle a kiss. And unfortunately did not get the fake flipper. And is trying the old back up into the screen. Whereas now this is given the plenty of time for Cheamo to take the lead. Oh my goodness. Game changer, fam. Kaz managed to do it. Thank you, Joss. And so...
Yes.
Okay, so everyone got through. Unfortunately, nobody got hit while in that fake flipper state, because that would have meant tragedy.
This next screen can change things again.
Everyone loves Death Mountain, because the old Death Mountain here, sometimes it doesn't really matter what you do. It's a matter of what the cabbages want you to do. Ben is, as you can see here, well, didn't get hit. Well, he got hit once, but I think that's from a dead rock. But he is, as you can see, how the cabbages can affect you, but got through relatively unscathed. And then Kaz and Cheamo, respectively, are also getting through. Flip has decided to eat all the cabbages. He wants nothing but cold slaw. Cheamo, though, gets a spin speed. Let's see if Flip can get out of this, because he's still in dangerous territory. 1.5 hearts.
Goodness.
He's in real dangerous territory. Okay, he gets out. Kaz had a little bit of trouble as well, it looks like, but he has 3 hearts remaining. Okay. And so, Ben with the boomerang swag. The Dongo is having none of it. Took the arrows anyway.
Ooh, still booms the arrows.
Well then. Alright, so let's see here. Now will Ben go for... Ben's setting up for it. And couldn't get himself stuck. But he got himself on the other side of the blocks, so that's good for him. And so right now, Kaz does have some catching up to do, but obviously, more than enough time. All right, Flip now deciding to play really dangerous game, activating one-hit KO, double speed Moldorms. Just insanity has now transpired. And so Ben, of course, and Kaz did, I think, out of, first one tonight so far out of the races that I've watched. The first one to, not properly, I don't say properly, but did it such a way where you get to pin yourself inside of the block so you can just sit there, give yourself a quick little rest. No problems there. Cheamo doing the more traditional approach. Unfortunately, mistimed that last pot, so he just got a tile in the face. Now, this is dangerous for Flip. He needs to get out. He's being reserved by killing that Moldorm. That's not a bad strat.
They played that really safe.
Yeah, now Ken... Oh, you gotta watch out for that. Okay. Because it's one thing to die in Hera. It's really a thing to die in the basement and not pick up the big key in time. Ben tried to go for the quick version of the bomb jump. The old early bomb jump, and didn't pull it off. So now he's got the fastest thing to do in that case is to mirror and to try again. And Flip, so it'll be interesting for Flip here because he still has to do the bomb jump. Now, of course, you can pick up a heart, as Cheamo just shown. So he can be at 1.5. All right, he got the bomb jump, so he got himself a pearl. Kaz got himself a pearl. Now can Flip... Okay, just taking his time. Looks to be good. Yep, now he's at half a heart again.
Cheamo's on 1 heart.
Cheamo is playing dangerous game. He's on one-hit KO. Misaligned himself to try to get the bumper skip, and he didn't hit the switch earlier, so now he's in real serious trouble. Whereas Ben's at 1 heart, and he died.
Oh, man.
And he just reset.
Oh, no.
Curious. Okay. Very curious. And okay, that was very good. And so Ben has, it appears he has ended his stream. Flip and Cheamo are now actually neck and neck. Cheamo Flip's a little bit behind still, but still catching up to him, getting close. And Kaz still defeated Moldorm.
Yeah, those were some dangerous fights. Almost everybody was like on 1 heart.
Yeah, that was all very, very dodgy. All of it. For all the runners. But Hera does that. Hera, between Death Mountain and Moldorm alone, it's very dangerous. Okay, so now, since no one had picked up the rupees earlier, it is now time for, Saha rupees or anything like that. Now it's time for tree pulls. So, for tree pulls, we need to make sure that we get the first pull, and then, without taking any damage at this point, now need to kill 4 enemies. And then when you get to the second tree pull, the blue rupees will turn red, and then you will have your requisite number. So this, of course, can be a bit dodgy. There are backups, if need be, but we'll see how it goes. So far, looks to be pretty good. And Flip first to the Master Sword, Cheamo shortly after, and I think Kaz got it like roughly almost in the same, not the same frame, but pretty close.
The thing that's interesting about the Lost Woods is you can easily bonk, and then you lose control for a little bit, and then the enemy can just walk right into you, and that's how you take damage.
Yeah, and so Ben, it's all right. Honestly, no one had a good Hera. It was all, all Monka, all of them. Okay, and then I think, who was that? Was that Flip who had the very dangerous bomb that appeared out of a bush? Didn't get hit, though. No one got hit. They got their red rupees. All right. That's all right, Ben. It happens. GG's all the same. All right, so now, making their way into the entrance. You want to make sure, of course, as always, well, I don't know of a time when you shouldn't. It's nice to have beams coming into Agate Tower.
I said this in the last race I commentated that there's several dungeons in this game where you really want to have full hearts.
Yeah, just because it mainly, if nothing else, it's a time suck to do some of the alternative strats, and then also resources as well. Okay, so Flip took care of that. Oh, all of them did, really. All of them looks like fair skip. No, Cheamo's having some. Okay, so that's actually. So I've mentioned that in the previous race, and so Cheamo got a heart. That can be problematic later on for when he does the bomb. So when he does hammer yump. So we'll have to try to pay attention and try to remember that with Cheamo, and we'll see later what transpires from that. Meanwhile, in this dark room here, all right, everyone's having problems, but managed to get through. At least none of the guards gave him a hug. As now we're in one of the other dark rooms. I still don't remember the names.
This one is the Dark Pits.
Yes. Oh.
Ooh, just get
Unfortunately, Cheamo and Flip both. Kaz got through relatively unscathed, and now in the spear room, they all get through it. Cheamo, a little bit of problems there, but still manages to get through. Right, pre-circle of pots. Flip. Oh, Flip. Oh, okay. Not in the best. The guard wasn't in the best position for him, but he did manage to get through, as did Cheamo and Kaz. Get through the Three Stooges over there. All right. Now, even though Flip and Cheamo are, half a room apart, this can definitely really blow it open for them. Because now it's Aga.
Definitely.
Now it's Aga. So we will see if Aga will decide that we can have a close race going forward, or if this is one of those things where something traumatic has to happen to somebody.
I will count Cheamo's stuff.
All right. You're going to count his balls. I'll see if I can count Flip's and Kaz's. Okay. Pretty mundane. And really for all the runners, what they really don't want to see at the very least, they don't want to see 3. That's no good, because then you're guaranteed to get hit with the double cycle lightning. But what is nice is after the lightning, the next one is a guaranteed regular non-blue ball spin. Okay.
Each blue ball counts for 6 seconds, right?
I think so. Yes. Flip.
6 seconds time loss.
Yeah, until you get hit the lightning. But Flip manages to survive with 2 blue balls, and Kaz has 3, and it looks like Cheamo is sitting at 4.
He's actually at 6.
He's at 6. Christ almighty. Okay, that's really not good. Because I believe once you hit 7, well, now you're definitely getting another cycle.
I think he comes out with 8.
Yep, that is correct. So, Aga... Well, oh, no, I thought he was done. Never mind. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
So, okay. Aga did not want to play nice. So, unfortunately for Cheamo, that, killed whatever semblance of lead that may have happened. But, as we've seen, just in the last race, Pod is a dangerous place. We'll see how all our runners can manage going through it. Kaz, though, so far, is doing fine. Now, as mentioned earlier, you need to make sure that before you talk with the monkey, you got to have 110 rupees. You get 10 from 10 to talk to him, 100 to open the gate. And of course, another thing that I didn't mention previously was you have to be careful not to take damage. You don't want to get hit here, because if you get hit, then the monkey runs away, and you need to pay another 10, and usually you only have enough just to try it once. So then you would have to employ some possible backup strats, which can, again, like many things in this game, be a huge, huge time suck.
Oh, definitely. And you're always guaranteed a rupee if you boom, but that's just 1.
Yeah, and usually though, you usually need more than 1. Usually you will need 2 or 3, and I don't think any of these guys take 1 hit. So it's sitting there, having fun slashing away. All right. Now, ideally, I haven't checked all runners, but I just saw a Cheamo there. Ideally, when you're doing this little trick here, they call it a Kiki Dash, you want to make sure you want to have essentially Kiki on top of Link as much as possible to shorten that distance for him walking.
Yeah, you want that monkey on your back.
Much, yes. Because otherwise, if you don't cut your... And you also have to make sure at the bare minimum to cut your dash. If you don't cut your dash, then it's like maximum distance. And that walk-up is just an eternity. Okay, so far, I didn't see anything out of place on any of the runners. Everything looks on the up and up. Flip, though, about to attempt, arguably, like I've said before, most new runners kind of dread. And, rightfully so. This is very tough when you first start out running this game. Okay, double pixel perfect. See what happens here. Position himself. Position 1 okay. Position 2 looks... Nope. No. Okay. Alright. Alright.
The last adjustment, I was like, good.
Yeah. I have everything at 360p, so I really can't tell what's happening. So I just have to kind of guess. But, alright, Kaz did it fine. Now, for cheamo, this is, like we mentioned earlier, if you remember, in that second room in Aga Tower, he went ahead and unfortunately slashed the guard, and a heart appeared. Now, we'll be curious to see if... Oh, Flip almost got hit there. We're going to see with cheamo if when he hits this mini Helma, if a fairy pops up. And the fairy popped up.
It did.
Yeah, so the problem now is, as mentioned, as we saw in if seen in previous races or in previous runs, that, and this is, now I'm talking...
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. And I'm talking...
Black buffers.
Yep. And I'm talking 45 minutes into the future, that you want to make sure that fairy, that you do have that fairy for the pokies later. So it's just amazing how much you have to worry about that now and over something that happens near, like, closer to the end of the run. He did get it the second try, and so even though he may have failed the hammer yump the first time, not a big deal. The bigger thing, at least in my opinion, is that he's only down 3 hearts, because you want to have, like, I'll say this literally almost every time, you want to have full hearts going into the back. Flip, though, having a bit of a problem with the turtle party. Kaz, on the other hand, looks... Well, he did... I saw one errant one, but he did get him in time before he flipped over. And so this is what I was saying for cheamo right here. If he... Having less than full hearts going into the back can be difficult. Now, Flip. Time for his helmet fight.
No spin speed.
No, not doing the spin. Oh, there we go. Oh, tried it. Mess it up. It's alright.
Yeah.
Do it the old-fashioned way here. It's okay. So far, so good.
Kaz gets his.
Okay. And, yeah, Flip. No spin speed aside. Still managed to get it, so no big deal. Kaz. And actually, that kind of shows the difference there with Flip and Kaz, about how Kaz, with the spin speed, doesn't trivialize the Helma fight, but makes it a lot easier than, when Flip was trying to do it. Kaz, you're not wrong. Spin speed is the hardest trick in the game. That and picking up pots. All right. cheamo having a little bit of problems with Turtle Party, but manages to get through. Requiem, he died to Moldorm. Well, he died twice in Hera. And then he reset. Now, whether that was intentional or not, I don't know, but that was what we saw.
cheamo gets his spin speed.
All right, so
He'll
now
finish up Helma.
Okay, let's see here. It also does help with the fact that no fireballs. There we go. cheamo did have a little bit of a faster fight, Helma, than Flip did. So hopefully, maybe you can use that time to catch back here. Definitely one of the harder things is getting out of pod, as Kaz has fully shown why he got murder dactyled. and that's why we call it the Murder Dactyl, as it does 3 hearts damage. That's not great.
And in this game, you only deal with that pink bird twice, right?
Yes.
One here and then in Mire.
Well, I guess technically if you mess up the dash up in Pod Overworld going into Pod,
yes,
he can chase you down. Unfortunately,
he does. I've had that happen before.
Oh yeah, same. That's the only reason I know that. So, all right, flip. Okay, got that. So we've got the flute, no issue. Cheamo is now trying to make his way out.
Caznode got a quick warp there.
Yeah, and it looked like
it flipped it.
Yeah. And now, so going up to the library, that spin speed is optional. This one here is more of a necessity solely to get past that red guard. Because I don't know of any fast alternative. Oh, water break.
It's a good time to do it.
Yep. And no disrespect to Cheamo. I mean, there's nothing. This portion of the overworld isn't much of a danger. Actually, Cheamo is, of course, showing something interesting there with his screen. Is the fact that just like when you talk, like with a lot of people you talk to, you can just yell at them from several pixels away, and still manage to get contact. So, yeah, Requiem. Flip had 2, Cheamo had 8, and Kaz had 3. I believe. Oh, Flip got hit with the rock. And okay, Kaz first one in. So really, Kaz had a little bit of trouble there getting past the old lizard head. So with this, or with Thieves Town here, nothing really. It's very smooth. It should be a smooth kind of dungeon outside of Hellway, because there isn't much. Only a couple spots to worry about possible patterns, but nothing. You know, it wasn't like Hera, where there's just a lot of crap out of your control.
Oh yeah, Hellway can really mess you up in this one.
Yeah, but that's, at least in my opinion, that's like the only thing. Oh, Flip and Kaz are in sync, by the way, or almost. They were for a moment.
Ooh, Kaz using a menu buffer there.
Wow,
God Pixel.
Yeah, I haven't seen that before. Unfortunately, for Flip, that was not possible. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you may be on the right pixel. You may get that God Pixel, but then that Patrick Star at the beginning gets in your way anyway. Nothing you can do.
Yeah, you can get that right away, and then the second half of Hellway can just go completely wrong.
Mm-hmm. And so both Flip and Kaz have bombed the attic with no incident really, and are now making the way down dungeon to get themselves the maiden in air quotes. And Cheamo, so far so good for him as well. No problems, just perusing, getting through. He's about to come across his Hellway adventure. See how he does. Let's see here. Okay, one room away. Gets past all the Patrick Stars. Alright, there's potential. Unfortunately, he was not in the right position. Let's see how we can get out of it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Bit of trouble in the middle there with a couple of Patrick Stars decided to hug him, but did get through. Grab ourselves a Titan's Mitt. Ooh, Kaz, unfortunately, yeah, whoop, uh-oh. Unfortunately, the conveyor did take him a little too far over, so he fell into the pit, and then he had to deal with the jellies. Actually shocking. A nice dash by Flip.
Actually got shocked on that bridge, conveyor bridge.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now, blind fight. If all goes right, should be a fairly simple adventure. It's a scripted fight, as we like to meme. And then Flip, good to go. Kaz, good to go. No, Kaz, you shouldn't be. Never be nervous. Never be nervous. Cheamo, though. Ooh, took a bit of a hit there, but that's okay. 4 hearts is still, you're still plenty safe.
And as long as the rest of the run goes well, Cheamo's pretty comfy on bombs.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now him against the bridge here. It looks like everyone's been having a little bit of problems with the bridge. At least this run, in one form or another. Okay, so we're focused right now on Cheamo to make sure he finishes at least this segment. While for the other two, what they're going to be doing now is they're going to be doing some shopping. They're going to get themselves some rupees, or 600 in total, and also upgrade their sword to tempered. We'll talk about that when that happens. So for Cheamo, good start. Gets the first bit. Okay, that's the second one. Now bonks intentionally to be in position for the third phase, and done. So good blind fight. And
Flip
to
do the top rock there.
Yeah, try to do top rock.
Which does save time, but not far enough in.
Yeah. At first I thought it was doing some sort of RMG thing, and I was very confused. Kaz opting to just do the portal trick instead of flipping screens here. So you actually get to see a little bit of a difference. So kind of what we do now is, so you see what Flip, so we do, you rescue him, go through, give him $10, and then give him the sword, run out. What normally we do these days, that we go ahead and we run out and then run back in. Kaz doing the strat of, if you time it just right, you can actually go out of the portal and then just time yourself where you change the portal and then go back into the door. And then as soon as you walk out the door, you're back in the Dark World. Not quite sure how much time that saves, because you can kind of see what happened. Oh, fence dash? No fence dash. Okay, so we have to asterisk this. It is possible we may have to invalidate Flip's run because of no fence dash.
Before the Blanksmith strat came out, we got so good at that mirror strat, and then when the blank strat came out, I was like, I'd rather just keep doing the mirror.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, we may be teasing here a little bit, but hey, whatever works for you. We all, we're not all like the top 3 runners. Mummy Room is always fun to start out with Skull Woods here, just because the mummies can make this room awful very, very quickly. Alright, Kaz. Alright, so for Flip, the mummy room went fine. Cheamo got himself a tempered, so he's going to run his way out. And also sometimes, too, what I don't think anyone did, but there's also another strat as well where you can spin speed out. I think that might save some time. And Cheamo also got the fence dash.
Knows.
Okay. So 2 out of 3 fence dashes. Not bad. Now, Kaz, though, in a little worrisome with the heart count. Only 4 left.
And the practice hack gives you 6 for the boss fight. So, see what happens.
Yep. So, all in all, though, all right. So everything's okay there. And all right. So now Cheamo is just getting into the mummy room, having some problem. Oh, he got grabbed.
Cool.
Well, the good news, if you want to call it that, at least it was early. So, of course, unfortunately, if you get grabbed, the whole room does reset. But since it didn't get real far into, the process, it was okay. Oh, flip with the fire rod dash.
Now that whole mummy hellway, if you do all these item dashes, it is a little faster, but that's a lot to do.
So let's see here. Okay. And okay. Well,
yeah, he got
good
the poke
fight.
dash in there too.
Got the poke dash, and for Flip, very fortunate that that Mothula, she didn't get stuck in the spikes, because of course Mothula doesn't take damage when full blown in the spikes. And as a side note, Cheamo was being chased by a bee. So now for Cheamo, looks like he got himself a fire rod. I'm not quite sure how his journey. Well, he bonked. He fell.
Boy.
Okay. All right, so he's also at 4 hearts. So we'll see how this can transpire.
Well, we're coming into one of the best splits of the game.
Yeah. Yep. So with this particular split here,
oh boy.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately for Cheamo, looks like Mummy Hellway got him good. Now the problem with that, so before we continue with the whole bit here regarding the Ice Palace split, is now he's got to take the time to grab himself some magic, because you need magic, unfortunately, to light all these. Now, these guys do drop magic. But you just have to be careful, of course, avoiding the Wall Master. Okay, so he has enough to get through all this. Probably do it a little bit slower than he wants to here. But he did get through. Okay, so he's good to get to Moth and hopefully finish her out. Now, having a little bit of problems, but did get turned into a bunny, so that's good.
And on the other side, Flip and caznode, neither of them got lotteried, so that's good too.
That's good. Cheamo was trying to. So usually the strat there for that mummy is that you want to hit him into the spike. Unfortunately, missed, so he had to start spamming a little bit. So he got a little bit of trouble there. He's now at 1-hit KO, and unfortunately, Moth got him. And I think it was one of those things. I think it was a tie, but tie goes to the boss. Meanwhile, definitely one of the more difficult rooms to navigate, Zora's Domain. Really, it's don't get hit by the fireball, don't fall in dark water, and it's that. So, still waiting. I think Cheamo's trying to decide what to do here. Not quite sure yet. I don't know if he's contemplating whether or not continuing or calling it a day. Not entirely sure yet. We'll see. But meanwhile, as we go along in here, Flip and Kaz are currently finishing up. And so you need to go through all this in order to, one, you got to get the medallion for something later. And then you also need to get the flippers just so you can get to Ice Palace. And according to Angry Demon Noises, it has been confirmed that unfortunately Cheamo has also bowed out.
I want to point out that Flip actually did a Louis strat there for the tiny warp kick. Pretty nice.
Oh, he took.
Don't
Oh,
always see that.
I didn't say that. He took top root.
Yep, he did.
Ah, very
Went
nice.
Left and I don't always see that.
Very good. Now, a bit of, well, it's not a huge issue actually, but it should be noted that Flip did accidentally use a fire rod shot. So he needs to be a little careful with his magic. Well, sometimes the penguins do drop sometimes the penguins do in fact drop a full magic, as shown on Flip screen, but usually you only can fire, I believe it's 2 fire rod shots, and then you can have the 2 magic pots that you get right before Cold Stare to refill your magic completely, which you need to have full magic going into that fight.
Alright, and I was talking to DoomTap earlier on what's the worst RNG in this entire ice segment, and he says it's this conveyor room right here that caznode just went through.
Yes. Yeah. I can agree. I can see that. Now, okay. Kaz unfortunately wasn't in the right position. And Flip looks questionable. But he got it. Okay. I was wrong. And Kaz got through second try, so that's okay. So, yes, for those of you who aren't aware, both Flipheal's opponent and Kaz's opponent have both quit. So, assuming that they finish their respective runs, they will win by default. Ooh, both of them going for the very nice.
Right side as well. That was nice.
Yep, the old spin speed through the stairs and didn't take damage. Because I think if you mess that up, you go into spikes, essentially. Okay. So like I was saying earlier, so for Flip, so Kaz only has to get 1 magic pot. Flip has to get the second one. And there we go. Now we switch to Fire Rod. Both are okay with health. Alright, we'll see what happens here. So, poke. That was an early spin. Okay, Kaz. Okay. Little bit of an issue. But he survived. Flip.
For Flip.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to Flip, but I heard beeps, so something must have went horribly wrong.
Yeah, he did take a hit, and then he just went on the dash mode, or the slash mode, and then charged up the last spin and got the last eyeball there.
Ah, okay. Well, still, didn't die. That's really all that matters. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of a change here with some of the screens. Okay, so now, understand for those of you who may have just joined in a little bit late here, this is not Flipheal versus caznode. Flipheal's original opponent has forfeit, as had Kaz's. So we only have 2 runners left of the 4, and they have won their respective races. But like I said, they just need to finish at this point in order to win. Otherwise, all of them get sent to the Shadow Realm, and that's that.
Finished.
Yep. So, Shift. It was just, NMG, as we always say, just some bad turns happened that were felt to be insurmountable, unfortunately.
Quick thing here, they're both doing the same shopping, I think. Well, we'll see what happens right after you get Ether.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how this goes. So usually kind of the common shopping route is to go ahead and get yourself Ether now during the swamp split. A lot of people also do it before Mire, but it's obviously a much riskier move. And then you go to swamp. Now, I don't know, and I'm not familiar enough with their times, whether they will go to... Alright, Kaz doesn't. Flip does.
He's
Okay.
a long swamper.
All right, so Flip does the long swamp, so he's going to run over here now to grab himself the ice rod. Now, usually a lot of people now will go grab ice rod as they're making their way to Turtle Rock. And Flip almost... And did he get hit by that bomb? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either.
Yeah, I know he's 2 hearts down, but I think that was from Death Mountain. Okay, so... It's going to be kind of hard if you're trying to watch these two in comparison for races, or for if you're treating this as these two racing each other. It's a little difficult to actually do that now, just because of the fact Kaz having some trouble with an anti-fairy. Because now their splits are off. They will not reconvene until like near Turtle Rock. I like how they both warped at the same time. In different spots, obviously. So it's going to look like Flip will always be perpetually behind Kaz until at the end. So well, like I said, we'll see how this goes, see how it plays out. For those, I've never talked about this, but you notice a lot of everyone switches to mirror there. And so if you try to dash, or if you try to use the mirror as you're pushing the block, in certain screens, you can actually get rid of the block. You know that's not a bad idea. I guess it is. It's not really a race. It's a showcase. Yeah, it is a showcase. That's a good way to put it.
And I mean, we've been seeing it through this run. There have been some different strats on both sides of these two.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though that these strats, and some of them look like remarkably different, at the end, barring any sort of, unforeseen deaths is really what it is. It all evens out in the end. It's like with anything in speedrunning, or not speedrunning, but speedrunning or just anything that's like this performance-based stuff. It's just a matter of being habitual. Being able to just use what you're comfortable with, no matter what it is. And while you may do something that may, in theory, be a few frames slower, if it's faster for you, it works for you. And then you just can improve or change your methods over time as you get better.
I remember talking to Moogle one time and said there's a lot of strats out there, and as long as all the other stuff is good and clean, you can still get a really good time for this game running it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, getting because like usually for a lot of new runners, the benchmark for a lot of new runners is getting the old sub 130, and then of course you speak of Moogle, he had the old noob split. What just happened?
Lost caznode, I think.
Okay, so man down. So not quite sure what happened with Kaz, whether it was an outage, OBS. All right, we're back. Okay. All right, we're back here. Looks like his internet decided to have him stop. Kaz completely refused, pushed through, and here we are. Okay, so far, Flip tried to go for the old hammer dash. Wasn't successful. Had to do it again. Okay.
One of the rooms that caznode went through earlier there was call it a hook dash room, and that's an item dash. And you can't really tell, but if you pay attention as he was pushing the statue, you'll see he's kind of like jiggling, or I don't know the right word. But no, it just helps to pick up the...
Yeah, he's wiggling. He's wiggling. He's jiggling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, allows you to pick... Yep, allows you to pick up the pot without having... Essentially picking up the pot through the statue. So it saves you the time of not having to like go around it or having to push the. So you'll see with Flip here. See how he was able to pick up the pot like that. If he didn't do that hook dash, he wouldn't have been able to. Ooh, double arrow
If you're
drop.
a casual runner, you wouldn't really notice that right away.
No, you wouldn't at all. All right, Kaz, first one in. Let's see. Okay, it's gonna opt to go for zero cycle. It's nope.
Fast RNG. You got the fast RNG.
Yeah, unfortunately, Argus was having none of that. And then, yep, the kind of the strat there of the old 2 fire rod shots and a spin, and had enough time to menu to the mirror, so get yourself the win there. Flip, get himself the dash through the door there. That's always a tough one. And also, too, actually, with Kaz, you may have noticed Kaz had to move out of the way. Something that a lot of runners, or even casual people, don't realize is that when Argus goes up and down, his hitbox is active. Flip the... Oh, unfortunately, also got the 1 cycle. So yeah, if Flip was standing above Argus, that would have counted as a hit. I remember when I was, a newer runner and on pace, and then all of a sudden, in my eyes, I just magically died to Argus, not realizing that as he goes up, he's actually still there.
I remember Fox raided me when that happened, and I died.
Oh. And so now, Kaz can make his way to Meyer. And of course, the ever so important, you have to pick the rock up from the bottom.
There's a lot of things throughout this run where you might be wondering, oh, why did he go from this side? And when it would have been faster to approach it from that side. And some of this stuff is really to set up for different glitches.
Right. And then as then you see on Kaz's stream, as Retro mentioned earlier, that really should be the only other time you ever have to deal with the murder dactyl. Okay, let's see now Kaz's Mire 2. Oh, does the fast version and gets it. Very nice.
Yeah, Kaz always menus in Mire 2. I've noticed that through all his runs.
Oh, I got a little unlucky with that fire snake, but there was nothing you can do about that, really. Hey, yeah, those, yeah, I mean, he definitely menus in places that I don't normally see or I personally don't do, but hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to do that menu buffer in Mire 2, and it just doesn't feel as fluid as I want it to feel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's definitely some spots where people will quote, at least from runners I've seen, will commonly, I'll menu here or I'll stop here or whatever, whereas I just don't do that for the same reasons. Okay, now Kaz, gonna go ahead and do this. I noticed that Kaz got himself a 4-drop. Well, good for him, I guess.
I've said this in a previous race, but when you light these torches, you have, assuming everything goes well, roughly 20-ish minutes till the end of the game.
Okay. I never thought of it like that, but yeah, it makes sense, actually. Ugh. Now, of course, it is ever so important, as you see with all the runners, that they do manage to you make sure you get that fire rod to go through the block as you're moving it. Because if the block is stationary, then of course it doesn't go through, and then that takes a lot of time because then you've got to move not just 1 block, you got to move 3 blocks, and it becomes a whole big bother and a huge time suck. But that hasn't happened, so just as an aside there. Now, as Retro mentioned earlier, there was this whole thing about picking up a block, or picking up that block before entering the portal from the bottom. So now, of course, to do spooky action glitch, one of the things that we have to look for here is what you're about to see with Kaz. It's going to be slight, but you'll see like a little puff, and then he dropped that block. So he did a dash first, and then placed the block down. And so, if done right, as I've said before, he's going to come here, he'll fire rod that spike. You saw how it just stopped for just a moment. That was when you knew he did the spooky action glitch, in that he actually lit the switch to change the blocks in which the switch is in a previous room. And you see, did it in the second room there, and then should have enough magic to do it for the third room. And you can actually literally see there that the switch had flipped when it looked like he just, lit the side of a torch. Fitcher's is fun. Again, have to do this dance just to take minimal damage. Did he? Oh,
he
no.
mirrored. No.
Oh, Kaz. Unfortunately, Kaz did the thing where he mirrored a little too early. So, as you'll see with Flip here, hopefully. Yeah, okay, yeah. Kaz is going to take an intentional death.
Yeah, to get those hearts back.
Yeah, that's a smart play. And so, what should have happened here, let's see if Kaz does it, and then we can talk through it here. So again, the whole dance is just so you can avoid damage, because the eyeballs do 4, but the slime does 1. Nope, gotta wait a cycle. Okay. Now, usually, you hit 8 arrows, and then at the hit of the 8th arrow, you switch to the mirror, just so you're ready for the next split. Unfortunately, I think for Kaz, either he miscounted or one of them didn't hit. I'm not quite sure what happened, but long story short, before he could get rid of Vitreous, he unfortunately mirrored out, so he reset everything.
So
well,
we're gonna
reset,
see Kaz,
not the doors, but yeah.
I see him trying to get some hearts here, in a way you don't always see, I think. Yep,
And
he's going to get the fairies.
Yeah,
Nope.
I get.
I thought he... Never mind.
No, it's alright. Okay, yes, definitely need to run and get that full magic so you can do it again. Now... Okay. So I believe it should still be active.
He shouldn't have to do a fire rod here. Oh.
They did it anyway. Okay. Yeah, he forgot.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like you think everything gets reset when you die, but...
Oh yeah, no, many times I've also done that too. And so now as you're gonna see here, Kaz is gonna do it kind of the way as intended, where you have to hit the switch. You have to bomb a room, go into another room, hit that switch, then come back around. It's all a big thing. So, though, meanwhile, on the other side, Flip, though, as you can kind of see, this was, I don't know if advantageous is the word, but one of the things that you get to do is you get to not have to worry about going to Ice Rod Cave. You can just straight up go ahead and get yourself the, go right to Death Mountain, go ahead and start your Turtle Rock split. So this will be interesting to see for Kaz here, considering he's at 4 hearts. Never mind. Because what I was going to say about Kaz, I was curious to see how that was going to go, because I believe I think you take 5-6 hearts of damage if you're going to do that intentionally with all the damage like normal.
The least amount of hearts you can have coming into Vidya is 5, I think.
It is 5. Okay, I don't remember. Okay, so Kaz will have to go ahead and take. Unfortunately, have to take another lap. Meanwhile, Flip going around here. You know, for the longest time, you know that path that we have to take to light it. I didn't realize that wasn't the intentional way. Like I didn't realize we're actually doing that backwards.
Oh yeah, I mean I've gone the wrong way and then just try to figure it out on the fly.
But yeah, no idea. But got through the roller room with ease. Okay, so now Flip approaching. All right, first, well, Pokey Zero here gets the spin. Oh,
I
just a
believe
little bit.
Your favorite?
Look, I love Chomps. I love this room. There's so. Oh my God, just the Chomps play such an integral part of this game. They need to be in here. This is why they need to be in here, was to cause that much of a nuisance. I hate Chomps so much. Yeah, but got through it. And so hopefully here in the next little bit for Flip here, he should be coming up to a magic drop and a fairy drop as well. So we'll see how Pokey's 1 goes.
It's top right RNG, pretty simple.
And got himself the fairy, didn't give himself the magic. Not the end of the world though, because I believe he does still have enough. Well, no, he has enough magic to at least finish out the whatchamacallit. To finish out the dungeon. That was pretty slick. I haven't seen them before. They'll use the just use the beam instead. Okay, so now meanwhile, Kaz. Okay, let's see here.
You can just empty out the. There's exactly 8 arrows.
Oh, there's the magic drop, like we said earlier, and did it. All right, so good job. Appreciate Kaz for sticking through with that. Z in chat, very good. All right, so Flip.
This,
go ahead.
It's got beams. He's able to do this room pretty fast. It's called the Crystal Roller Room.
Yeah, it definitely is much faster, and then having to try to use the Samario block. Because you got to use 2 shots. And I said this last race, and I don't know if it's true, but I think the speed of detonating the block is slower than just using beams.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea by how much. So insert number of frames here, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't ever like to give out the frames. Somebody always says something different.
Yeah, there's only a few people who whatever number they say, I trust. I mean, for me, I'm memeing. I have no idea. So far for Flip, well, unfortunately got a little bit behind there, taking the scenic route, but that's okay. Now, as you mentioned earlier for Kaz, because he didn't get the old ice rod, now he's got to go grab that. Got to go grab that stupid thing, because as Flip is about to show you, you only need the ice rod literally for one thing. It's right here. And you use it, 2 shots, you never use it again. There we go. I think, yeah, Flip got the double and got himself a nice, easy Trinex kill. So good for him.
Ooh, Kaz entering that cave at 116. That's pretty good. That's like one of the few numbers I memorize.
Ah, there you go.
Just means your first Death Mountain screen was pretty good. So
there you go. I mean, at least someone knows that. After after Escape, I don't know any times. I don't know what's good or not. I usually just
Only reason.
No, go ahead.
The only reason why I had that memorized is because TR is my worst split, so I've been trying to work on that lately.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, TR is, I don't know if that's true for a lot of people, but it always seemed... What the hell? Okay. Someone's starting what sounds like a Mack truck outside my house. Anyway. So, Flip made final ascent. This Kaz is just getting started into the fray.
Point out that those Lionel enemies, they do a lot of damage too. Sometimes when you dash through them, you can easily just lose that health.
Yeah, you can stay in there for a little too long, and I think they do 4?
Yep, they do 4.
Okay. So Kaz looks like he can give himself a good roller room as Flip makes his way to the left-hand side here. Of course, you don't ever have to do right-hand side of GT in vanilla. And he is skipping the key, torch key, for the one upstairs. Kaz now at Pokey 0. And... okay, only gets the fairy drop. Not a big deal there. Again,
Flip attempt. Go ahead.
No, I get chomps. I get to watch chomps again. Like, great. Anyway, sorry.
Flip attempted the spike skip, but he didn't get it there.
Oh, okay. Well, tried to hook shot through, get the my frames. Was a little bit early there, so it took a heart. And for Kaz, gives himself that magic drop. Flip doesn't accidentally go into the portal, which is always a good thing. Alright, and now... oh, Kaz unfortunately went a little too early, trying to get past the anti-fairies, and instead got hit. So unfortunately he lost his beams. Meanwhile, Flip here, pretty simple. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. Made the armless refight look easy. Get yourself the big key, and then some arrows as well. Yep. Now he'll make his way upstairs. Meanwhile, Kaz is coming across the crystal roller room. So you'll see now, like, the difference in time. So Flip just had to do a couple of beams, whereas you see this whole process here. You have to detonate, then you have to get the key, then you have to detonate again. And actually, he did it fast because he managed to get through it, before the roller got to him. So that was about as fast as Kaz could have done that.
We like to call this squeeze.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I've seen this. I think this was a more recent strat. Or it's just not implemented.
Eddie was doing it, and then Harry was doing it, and then everybody started doing it.
Yeah, I had noticed... I didn't start noticing it until Doomtap started doing it. Presumably because he was, saw Harry and Eddie do it, so... Oh. Kaz, a little bit of trouble there, but he managed to survive. As Flip, going through the gauntlet. Everyone loves the gauntlet. Before Mario Maker was a thing, these are definitely Mario Maker-esque levels.
Oh yeah, the RNG is really mess you up on these rooms.
Mm-hmm. Kaz had a couple of errant fire rod shots there, but managed to control himself and get through it. Okay. Alright, so Flip got himself a 2-cycle, not too bad at all. Meanwhile, Now you see with Kaz, that's what happens if you don't get the initial double spin as Trinex comes out of his shell, is that you have to do 2 extra slashes as he's, snaking around there. Flip, unfortunately, I think got frame ruled there by by that one guard. I did see him get bumped off. And had to do whiz robes, and had to do a second cycle of whiz robes, but still has enough magic to get through all the torches. Oh, and then it was fast enough to not have to worry about the fire bar. Okay, so Flip now making his way to the end here. And so, even though he didn't pick up that key earlier, this is when you do want to grab this key. Because if you didn't, you'll be a key short. You wouldn't be able to get through this last door here. Now, the final or not the final, but next refight is Moldorm. Earlier in a race that I watched earlier, I saw the the hover. However, this right here, kind of the more conventional approach is that you do one, a dash or a slash, and then one spin with the tempered, and that's all you need. Nothing real complicated there. And then you can just time yourself right just to get the hook shot. To essentially have the hook shot attached to the chest as it appears.
I get 2.
Yep.
See how many cycles we
we'll
get.
See. Kaz did also skip the key. Okay, so let's see how many. It's 6 shots, by the way. 6 shots to win. Ooh. Well, when you get a blue ball right there, you can't do much, and then just other than eat it. Okay, so that's 4 hits. Just needs 2 more. Okay, so not bad, not bad. A 4 cycle. Unfortunately, could have been a 3 cycle, but the one blue ball kind of ruined any chances to get the other 2 blue balls to even have a chance to hit them. Okay, so as Flip is approaching Ganon, take a quick peek at Kaz. Kaz is still cruising his way through the left side of GT. Just a couple rooms away from Ice Armos.
Flip is at the final boss of the game, Ganon.
Okay, so 12 hits for each cycle. First cycle was good. I haven't been counting for the second cycle, but I think he's still okay. He's on pace. Yep. And of course, one thing we didn't talk about, or I didn't talk about in the last race, is the whole thing that if you notice Kaz, you see how he's killing those Armos. That is important for what Flip is doing now, because you need to kill the Ice Armos in a certain pattern in order to get the bats to go in a certain way, in order for you to be able to dodge all of them.
Yeah, you don't often have those 2 scenes side by side to help with that explanation. That was pretty good.
It's like we willed it into existence. Okay, Flip got torch glitch, and so now just 12 spins to win. You just have to make sure with the spins you have to time them to where I believe it's like right before Ganon makes his move. Otherwise, he freezes, which is not what you want, because, again, the game expects you to have silver arrows. You don't have silver arrows here. I think we just saw Kaz do the, kind of the, I don't know, traditional is the right word, but kind of the more popular approach of just dashing up, hitting the switch, and then proceeding. Ooh, gets cannonball skip. And
Caznode gets the...
And unless Flip falls, we have ourselves a winner. But will he fall? He does not. So, with a time of 1:26:50, Flipheal has won. GG's in chat. Give him all the GGs. Oh yeah, I need to also GG. There we go. Meanwhile, Kaz is finishing up the gauntlet. Got through it relatively unscathed. 6 hearts down, but nothing too bad. Let's see if the the Landmos can... Oh, okay. Unfortunately...
missed one.
Missed one, so couldn't get the 1 cycle. And he's gonna have to grab the magic pot as well, as he doesn't have enough magic to finish it out. Yep, he did that. Now he has just enough magic to finish, or to use, the usual stuff for the whiz robes, for the torches, right before he gets to that magic refill. Ooh, couldn't get... A little far away, couldn't get the... that last whiz robe.
Interesting that they both had... Foo's the bridge.
So the old, the old frame rule. At it again. So that was just unfortunate. Just you can be the pigs can be in the right position to where even if the dash looks good, still in the end it was no good at the end. So now, even though he's out of magic, he should. Yep, he had enough for one last fire rod shot. I'm sorry, what were you saying before?
Saying that they both had issues with whiz robes too, and normally people don't. So that's just interesting.
Yeah, but I think, in general, just at least with the races this evening, like the whole evening was cursed.
Yeah.
The whole evening.
In the water.
Definitely, the whole evening was cursed. Just, unfortunate ends, people forfeiting, and understandably so. Just mass issues all the way around. It's just been, it's just one of those nights. Just one of those nights, unfortunately. It's just, and I think for people who don't watch, honestly, it's more like, at least in my opinion, it's kind of like, this is how runs go. Or, you do a 2-3 hour session or whatever of runs, and 99% of them are going to be this. But this being a race, though, you're not going to reset in all the crap parts. You'll just try to tough it out the best you can here.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, Kaz. Now, the problem with that, while it looked like all 3 balls hit, Aga 2 can be pretty finicky with what's considered a hit. So that, even though it looked like 3, it might have only been 1.
Yeah, that's the sucky part about that.
Yeah. And I think it was, because that was 3 cycles.
I'm convinced that was only 1 on the first cycle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was only 1, but in general, I think that was 4 cycles, I think.
Yeah, 4.
Okay, well, either way, though, managed to get through. Now, of course, a bit of an issue is, again, as I always mention, health. He's sitting at 4.5 hearts. The fire bats do 2. I think the trident does 4. And
I can't remember that one.
Yeah, and Ganon does like 58. If I remember correctly.
Basically.
Yeah. So, alright, we'll see how this goes. Alright, that's 7 hits. So you get the spin there. That's 11. And then that should be 12. Did he get it in time? He did. Okay, so the bats do 4. Alright, but he got all his hits in. And as you can see there... Oh, he didn't get them all in. Oh, I miscounted. Okay. So unfortunately now he's stuck with the second cycle. Which also means the second cycle of bats, but...
Oh, he walked in.
Yeah, he just walked into it. Alright, well... Don't worry about the hearts anymore. So here we go, round 2. Now, the problem with round 2 at this point is, I believe now he's got random bats. And this is also too for, especially for people who do races, you get into one of those things that I always like to call a death loop. Because you'll get to this point, and then you'll never finish Ganon. Because you're not used to as you see here, this very weird pattern that you're just not used to practicing. But he got through it though, so kudos to him.
Yeah, if you've never seen the fight and then saw he was in the circle of bats on the first time before he died, you're wondering, oh man, that's pretty scary, but all those movements are memorized.
Yes. Yeah, it's just whenever you die. Oh, okay. So this is what I was saying before. If you're either not careful with the timing, or for that case, as you saw with Ganon, Ganon didn't move. The spin, instead of counting as a hit, as you see now, unfortunately, it would count as just, he turned blue, which means you'd be frozen long enough for you to switch to silver arrows and get a few hits in. I don't know if that didn't look like it counted.
Yeah, just a whiff.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay. As a reminder, 12 spins to win. I've lost count. No, I was a little late there. Oh, there we go. So unless he falls...
Oh!
I'm gonna be honest. People have always joked, or people always wonder why I say that whenever I do commentary. This is why I say it. Yeah. Yep, Demon Noises, drag him in here. Drag his carcass in here. Let's have a chat while we wait for... Let's see if Kaz opts to continue on with this. And now, Flip, you have... all right, so first off, congratulations, you have survived. Let's just put it that way. You have survived the night.
Made it.
Yeah, it's like a double win. I got my revenge on caznode for sniping me in week 1. So,
well, there you go. Yeah. So, were you, as I always like to ask, did you watch any of the races at all?
Nah, I usually just kind of try to play my own game the best I can. But I was peeking in the race room, so I saw the one DNF and then the second DNF at some point. I think when I was at a swamp.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so all right. I mean, Richard, do you have anything you wanted to ask? Oh, I think Richard disappeared again. But okay. So, I mean, yeah, all in all, like I said, after watching all these races and then seeing the races before, like I said, congratulations. I know it may not have. I mean, how do you feel about the run given everything that has happened with during your performance?
Good and bad, obviously. So like, Hera is getting really. For some reason, every race, like in League, I'm losing a minimum of like 12 seconds, and this one was like 28. I was just like, every race is like starts off good, and then Hera is just like a bombshell.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I was really tilted from that, but I mean, other than that, and I've been trying to like really hardcore grind pod, ice, and thieves. So like the pod and ice didn't look that good, but I've been like for the work I've been putting in, it was annoying. But I mean, everything else is pretty good. Still, all things considered, all that only 50 away from my PB. So
right. No, definitely, yeah. And of course, I mean, obviously, how it is that you can grind forever, and then the one run, unfortunately, doesn't go that well. But all in all, like I said, just congratulations for winning. Congratulations for surviving, as I've said. Just because, like I said, everyone's had just traumatic faults for whatever the reason.
Yeah, so I guess what happened to everybody. So I'm guessing Ben had a worse Hera than me because I think he stopped around 24 minutes.
Yeah, so to run through it, Ben, unfortunately, at least from what I saw, through the restream here was that he had died. He died twice. He died once. I forgot where. Or no, I think it was failed the early bomb jump, died to Moldorm, and then he just reset, and then the stream cut. And then yeah, so I think that's what it was there, and you know, it was unfortunate, but it's what it is. I don't know if it was. We're not sure if it was just like he reset by accident or if it just, you know, kind of just quit out and wasn't sure. But yeah, that was the only thing with your race. And then if you were curious with Kaz, I think I forgot. I don't remember what happened. I believe his opponent had unfortunately got into a bad run-in with Moth, amongst a couple of other things.
Ah, okay. Chemo is actually my opponent.
Oh, Chemo's your...
Yeah,
okay.
he had Ben.
So clearly it's been so long that I don't remember who played who.
Yeah.
I have no recollection.
To be fair, they DNF'd a while ago.
I suppose so. This is also true. I was joking earlier about how this was going to be I wanted it to be a fatal four-way. I just didn't think it was about to almost be literal. And then, of course, caznode here did the one thing that I always meme whenever I commentate. Okay. Unless he falls... Wait a minute. Kaz has just defeated Ganon. Unless he falls, he's going to win. Or, well, he'll finish. Wait. He finishes. Ah.
Finishes. GG.
GG's in chat. Quickly, GG's in chat. He has done the thing. Congratulations. Let's get that in there. With the final time, 1:38.48. Kaz has survived the nightmare. GG to everyone who survived Squid Game today. Yeah. So yeah, it was just the whole night. Mental and emotional turmoil all the way around. But yeah.
In, right?
Excuse me.
Yes.
What?
One thing I would like to say is there was a point where I thought all 4 runners were going to die to Moldorm. So, at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's actually true.
I think everybody came in with, like, 1 heart.
All of you made Hera terrifying. All of you. Yeah, that was horrifying. And Hera was definitely a deal ender for a lot of people between all the races that I've seen tonight.
Yeah, I was almost thinking about death warping, but I was like, I had lost so much time already. I was like, we're just going with it. We'll hit the switch. We can play it slow and get there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the beetle was going to get me for a second, because of course we messed that room up, because why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's I know, of course, that's always the problem whenever you don't want to look, or you know, whenever you're kind of not paying attention to whatever your opponent does or anything like that. And I can understand that why you wouldn't. But yeah, all in all, made the right decision. Like I said, you managed to survive, so that's always good. But yeah, it's just, man, I would love to say, I'd love to have more questions for you, but I mean, you already kind of, I mean, like I said, you felt okay about the run, minus obviously a lot of things, but like what you said, all in all, you said, I can't read your splits. Would you plus 50?
I will say too, yeah, plus 47 by the end.
Okay.
I must have had some luck on my side, because I think I only missed 1 spin speed, which is kind of unheard of. So,
yes.
I hate spin speed.
So. Yep.
You got to take the small victories, I guess.
That's...
Yeah, that was a Helma.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Any small victory is a victory in itself. And then, of course, I don't remember. I forgot if it was you or someone else. I forgot how many blue balls you had as well.
I was pretty good, 1 or 2 on me. My opponent had 8. Chemo got really wrecked by that, I think.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
that's right. I think you were the one who had the blue ball count for the night. So. Yeah, so there you go. So at least that kind of helped a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Richard, do you have any other questions or anything else?
No.
Okay. And then, yeah, I mean, obviously for you, Flip, do you have anything that you would like to say?
I guess that's it for the run. Thanks for the commentary, the restreaming and stuff. I guess by everyone forfeiting eventually got easier for you guys, so that was good. But
yeah, having to stare at less screens was always nice. But yeah, no, thank you. And then I don't know. I know Kaz has been going on in chat. I don't know if he wants to jump in on this, or I don't know if he just disappeared. But whatever. We'll wait and see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, like I said, at the very least, I have nothing else. But thank you so much, Flip. Again, congratulations. I have no idea who you're playing. I have no idea because I do not have the schedule up.
Someone who's 1 and 2 by the end of the week. That's on.
Okay, very good. So yeah, we'll find that out, and someone will tell somebody, and we'll get all that done. And then, okay, yeah, I guess with Demon there, I think we'll just wrap this up. But yeah, so thank you so much to all the runners, to those who have forfeited and those who didn't. And then, of course, like I said, Flip, you are the only one who managed to survive as Kaz finally came around after losing what looked to be a loss of sanity for about 10 minutes. But he managed to come around and finish. So GG's to everyone around. Retro, thank you so much.
GG.
Thank you for coming around literally last second. I was actually going to do this by myself again, but literally last second coming in to help, so I appreciate that. And on that note, I'm going to send it back up to our host.
All right, GG runners. Good job, comms. That was very fun. We actually have another doubleheader, not tonight, but tomorrow. Looks like it is at... there it is, 1 p.m. Eastern. And that's going to be Ray versus Relkin and Humbug versus Foxlisk. Currently scheduled to be on ZSR2. So definitely tune into that one. In the meantime, we will raid our friend Spleeby. I think they're doing randomizer, but still one of us. So, yeah, good enough. And thanks so much, everyone.